Something's going on across the street. I was watching some guy run into my neighbor's house in a fury from a vehicle that I've never seen parked there. Anyway, more to the point, my buddy Matt is taken ill with the Wuhan flu. Thanks, China. It's ruined his family vacation to Disney World, which is a shame. And it's hit him and his wife so hard. I don't know if it's hit the kids yet, but it's hit them so hard that he's asking for prayers. And if he's asking for prayers, it's pretty serious. And if there's one thing people know about me, it's that I'm a serious man. Anyway, I have some soups that I've made. I made one yesterday, chicken noodle, or no, just chicken. I don't dabble with noodles too much. Anyway, it's a little too hot and spicy for the kids, so I'm gonna make them up some chicken thigh soup, and you know, just regular ingredients really. And then I'm gonna cart it on over there and make a big show of it on my YouTube channel to show everybody that I'm not a complete asshole. Now I know I didn't give a rundown of my method or ingredients, but I wanted to start recording at this point to let you know that these tears are real, and it's not from the onions, it's actually from the garlic. So my old man, he grows some rather potent garlic, and I put it in my chili, I put it in my soups, I put it in my stews. I put that shit on everything. It's basically Frank's Red Hot for this family. But yeah, garlic is noted, quite noted, for its healing properties, and it usually comes from the high sulfur. Before antibiotics, they used to use sulfur drugs, and I refer to chicken soup colloquially as Jewish penicillin. And one of the things that really gives it that kick, that extra boost of helping provide higher immunity for people, is very much so that high sulfur garlic. But anyways, just garlic, carrots, celery, green onions, and onions, and that's the kids mix right there. I'm going to throw in 2 deboned and deskinned chicken thighs. That'll give them enough protein to help rebuild that immunity. I think it's important also to note that when you're doing chicken, you cut your meat last and you cook it first. That way you don't end up with some kind of salmonella stew. You wouldn't want that, because now you're going from, you know, viral infection to a bacterial infection with food poisoning. You want to make sure your chicken's cooked nice and thoroughly. We'll get on with that. Alright, now that I've got that cut up to more processable chunks for tiny mouths, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding the chicken to the pan. Oop, keep dropping that shit. Add the chicken to the pan and get a good sear on it first, and then deglaze it with the stock. I'm using bone broth, just some Members Mark stuff, Sam's Club, no big deal. But yeah, again, I think it's important, especially if you're not using your own bone stock, which I used for the previous batch. If you're going to put your chicken in the pan and cook it first, you want to get that delicious browning off the bottom of the pan. Now, I'll be the first to admit that my kitchen is a mess, but it's functional. I use it every day. You want to add your chicken just as soon as you can smell the oil really cooking up. Olive oil is pretty stable at heat. But again, you don't want it to get to that smoke point. Now in this stainless steel pan, you can probably see that this chicken is sticking. That's fine. You want it to stick, that way you get that brown on the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the lid over top to help cook it more thoroughly. Alright, so now that the chicken's mostly white, I'm going to take the top off to help drive off that water. And this is a good point to add your seasoning. Do a little pepper medley. Pink Himalayan salt. 84 essential nutrients that your body needs. We're going to go heavy with the basil because this is to help sick children. And we'll get a little paprika, smoked paprika, but not too much. Just enough to cover the top and get that good red coloring. And again, at a medium high at 375, this ought to brown up real nice. Alright, here we are at about 6 minutes in. The chicken is thoroughly cooked, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to the side. Let the center of that pan heat up, so you can see right there that we've got that nice crisp brown to the bottom. And this is where I'll deglaze with this bone broth. The bone broth's naturally brown. If you were just using regular chicken stock, or maybe some canned stuff like Progresso that comes out with that yellow classic chicken broth flavor or color, you're not going to get it as deep as brown as the bone broth's naturally coming as. But if you deglaze your pan with it, that's when you'll start to get this real flavorful browning. Not to be confused with a 12 gauge browning. Now we'll cover, bring it to a boil. We'll go slow, we'll take it down to about 340. Once it comes to a boil, I'll add the vegetables and then I'll let it simmer. Well, I did exactly what I said. I brought it to a boil, I added the vegetables. I didn't get it on camera. I did, but it overlaps a phone call that was disclosing some health information, so I don't want to broadcast too much. I might cut this with water, I don't know. Yeah, I'll jack up the temp, I'll cut it with water, that way it'll stretch the soup. Of course, I'll have to add more spices though. Alright, we're going to add about 1-2 FLOZs in there, so I think that'll thin it out a little bit, but at the same time, not degrade the flavor too much. Now the soup is ready to be poured into its travel vesicle and hand delivered to the wonderful Dickinson family. All right. Perfect crunch on the vegetables and a near perfect fit. Now I do have different soups and different styles and different temperatures. That is the freshly made for the kids hot soup. The refrigerated soup for the adults. I'm gonna have to maybe buttress that. And the frozen beef stew for later. And if anybody out there in YouTube world thinks that I'm stupid enough to unnecessarily expose myself to a pandemic virus, I'll have you know that back in 2009 I purchased a bunch of these avian flu kits, and they don't expire. Everybody laughed at me then, but joke's on them. Disinfectant wipes. Notable lack of pockets. Once again, the late 80s and 90s to the rescue. Hip pouch. Can't be too careful. Can't be too prepared either. Yeah, I know they're not lucky strikes. These things are getting harder to find. Every place was closed at the default. Over boots. Everybody laughs at the guy who stockpiles level 1 PPE until there's a pandemic virus. Don't worry, I got you, fam. I hope he doesn't mind me recording. I'll try and play it off for the kids like it's Halloween. Trick or treat!
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you guys just got back, huh?
We just got back and haven't done anything.
So I got your keys. Hey, honey. Happy Halloween.
Hi. Hi.
Maxie, look at you.
Hey,
I'm
Matt.
Captain America.
You are Captain America. Is that your favorite superhero?
Yeah.
GoPro.
You're on video.
Is that your favorite
Say hi.
superhero?
Yeah.
Captain
You know who
America.
my favorite superhero is?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Whoa.
So I brought you guys some soup and some beef stew.
We got some chicken.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, goodness gracious. I can't believe you came in here.
I know.
You think I'm scared?
I would be.
I got level 1 hazmat on, man. I'm not scared.
I'm not scared of that guys anymore.
Good. So I brought you guys some chicken soup to help you get better.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll put it up. GoPro, stop recording. Well, that went pretty well. Because I'm a joy to be around. Two things I've learned in life. Chance favors the prepared, and nobody fights alone.